Hey besties, welcome back to my channel. Today I thought I would do my first ever monthly wrap up for what I read in April. I had to think what month it was for a second. Well, now it's May, but I can't believe that it's May already, by the way. That's crazy. This has been my biggest reading month so far. I read 4 books this month, or last month technically now. The first book that I read was Blackberry Winter by Sarah Gio. I got it from the library, so I don't have the copy. I really enjoyed it. I think I did a 5-star at first, but recently I've decided that I'm gonna switch some of the ratings, and so I changed it to a 4-star just because I really enjoyed it, but I changed it to a 4-star because I decided that I would give that 5s are books that I can still recite months later. So even though I enjoyed it, I'm I can't even remember all of the characters' names. Is it a 5-star if I can't even remember a bunch of the names in the book? So I went ahead and just changed it to a 4-star. So still a really good book. I would still recommend it. All of the Sarah Gio books that I've read so far are so incredible. I would definitely recommend her. So that was my first book of the month. So it was a super sad, so sad book. So if you don't want to cry, I'm not a crier. I didn't cry, but I can't even imagine it. If you're a crier, it would definitely make you cry. So don't read it if you don't want to cry or be sad. So, but if you are in the mood for that, or if you want just some emotional book, definitely try and read it. It was really good. It was about, a spoiler free, it was about a mom and son, and her son went missing one night while she was at work, which kind of frustrated me because I'm he was 3 years old, I believe. He was 3. I'm why are you leaving your 3-year-old home alone? That's crazy. A 3-year-old? You're just kind of asking for it. He goes missing and she gets back home and he's not there. And then so the book just kind of follows her trying to look for him. And then it also frustrated me because so many people in her life are he'll don't worry about it. I don't know. It was quite a frustrating book a little bit, but very good. I still enjoyed it. Okay, and now my second book, Better Than the Movies by Lynn Painter. Obsessed, so obsessed. I gave this a 5-star and it will stay a 5-star. If I could give it a higher star, it's a 10-star. It's so good. Wes Bennett is one of my new book boyfriends. Conrad, Cole, and now Wes. Oh my gosh, I love Wes so much. He's amazing, and I loved every single page of this book. I think this might be my favorite standalone, although it's not going to be a standalone for much longer because the second book is coming out in October and I'm so excited, but I'm kind of nervous too because I'm don't separate them. Oh my gosh, my heart, no. I think most of us that have read this book can understand we can't take that. No. So I'm kind of nervous for the second book to come out, but I'm really excited too. Literally my favorite standalone for now. This is the type of book that I cannot wait to reread. I already as soon as I finished the book, I was on the last page and I already want to reread it. It's so good. If you have not read this book, read it. It is just insane and amazing and I love it. And what I love, each chapter starts off with a movie quote. If I can find one, what in the world? So here's chapter 3. It's "You're late, you're stunning, you're forgiven, pretty woman." I love that each chapter starts off with a movie quote. A lot of them I wasn't familiar with, but some I knew. And then I also love at the end of the book, she has this. There's Wes and Liz, and then it's the soundtrack of Wes and Liz. So there's all of their songs. Isn't that so cute? I love it. I love books that have soundtracks. Now I need to create the soundtrack on my Spotify. I need to have my Wes and Liz soundtrack. playlist on my Spotify now. Amazing book. I will definitely reread this book at some point. It's so good. All right, and then for my third book is To All the Boys I've Loved Before by Jenny Han. If you know me, you obviously know my insanely huge obsession with The Summer I Turned Pretty, which is over here. You guys, I just thought I should scoot my camera over, show my book collection. Here's The Summer I Turned Pretty books. You guys know how obsessed I am with those and the show, and Conrad's my favorite ever. You guys know that. So, I mean, since each movie came out, I watched every single one of them, like, immediately. So I've always loved the movies, but I've just never read the book. So I read this one, and I think I gave this a 4.5 star because for the first, like, 90 pages, I was not into it, like, at all. I was like, am I gonna like this ever? But then I kept reading, and then I ended up liking it. The thing is that, like, it's nothing really like the movie at all, which is fine, because with The Summer I Turned Pretty, I've been asked, like, is it like the books? And, like, enough. Quite a bit is similar to the show or like how it is in the books, but, like, this was just, like, not like the movie at all. And, like, Peter, I like Peter, but again, like, his character is so different than in the movie. I did like this book, but it's crazy just how different it was. And it's fine to have, I like to separate movies or shows to the books, but you would think that there would be some similarities to the book and movie. Not really so much. So it was all right. I enjoyed it after, like, basically 100 pages in, but the first, like, 90 pages just, I wasn't digging. So I believe that I gave it a 4.5 star. If not, I'll put it right here, my correction, but if there's no correction, then yes, it was a 4.5 star. Okay, and then for my last book, kind of, I'll say why I say kind of in a minute. It is Always by Sarah Geo. So my third Sarah Geo book altogether, my second this month. Oh my gosh, I read this book in 3 days, a little less than 3 days, because I wanted to get it over with, because it stressed me out so bad. Like, it was a good book, don't get me wrong, but it made me, like, it was making me, like, angry just in life. I realized that I was getting, like, frustrated and kind of, like, angry and mean to my mom because this book was making me stress out so bad. So I quickly read it so I didn't continue my anger outside of the book, which is crazy that, like, a book can do that to you. That's what it was doing. It was good. It was just frustrating. It's like, let me read you guys the synopsis because I don't even really know how to explain the book without giving it away. Enjoying a romantic candlelit dinner with her fiance Ryan at one of Seattle's chicest restaurants, Kaylee can't believe her good fortune. She has a great job. It goes on about, like, her and her fiance, but then she walks out of the restaurant and spots a thin bearded homeless man on the sidewalk. She approaches him to offer up her bag of leftovers and is stunned when their eyes meet. Then stricken to her very core, the man is the love of her life, Cade McAllister. When Kaylee met Cade 10 years ago, their attraction was immediate and intense. Everything connected and felt right. And so from there, I mean, there's more to the synopsis, but so she walks out of the restaurant with her now fiance, Ryan, to go outside and see the homeless man, which is the love of her life that she hadn't seen in years, Cade. And then it just kind of goes from there. She goes back the next day to find him and then finds him, and then it just goes from there. And it's a whole thing. It stressed me out. It was good, but it stressed me out. I can't stress how much it stressed me out. Oh my gosh. Like, I don't know. I can't remember what I rated it. Did I rate it a 3 or 4? I don't know. I'll put it up here what I rated it because I can't remember whether I gave it a 3 or 4. It was a lot, you guys. And then I did not finish reading this one. I got like 50 or 70 pages. Yeah, about 50 pages in for My Roommate is a Vampire. And I just feel like this is the worst book that I've like ever, well, I didn't read it, obviously, all of it, but the 50 pages that I read, I hated. So I couldn't even finish it. So it's a DNF for me, but I couldn't. It's like, it was such an easy read too. I like sat down just for like an hour and read the 50 pages. But no, I couldn't finish it. So this could have been an extra book for the month of April, but it's too bad. This book bites. So didn't finish that one. I would not recommend this one. If I were to rate it, it would be like a 0. No, I just couldn't. I could not finish that book. So for the month of April, my favorite was definitely Better Than the Movies. I loved it so much. And then I wouldn't really say that I had a least favorite. None of them were horrible, but always just was a little too much for me. So after that, I decided to go to a happy book. So I'm on a happy book now because after that, I needed some relaxation in my body. All right, besties, that's gonna be it for today's video. I hope you enjoyed it. Tell me your April reads and what your favorite was and which books that you think I should read. I want more books like this, like Better Than the Movies, just like that happy type of feeling book. It was just so good. Oh my gosh, I'll rave about this book forever. It was amazing. So tell me if you have like any suggestions for me, and especially if you think there's any like similar type of book like that, just kind of with that same just sweet vibe, please let me know. And also, do you have any summer book suggestions for me? I really want like the Summer I Turned Pretty type of books for the summer. I just want like those really cutie little patootie summer reads. All right, guys, that's gonna be it for today's video. If you want to follow me on all of my social medias, they're linked down below as always, and I will see and talk to you guys in the next video.